Part 2. Harriet. Harriet, there was always somebody calling us crazy, or mean, or stuck up, or evil, or black, and we were nappy girls quick as cuttlefish, scurrying for cover, trying to speak the pain in each other's mouths until we learned on the edge of a lash or a tongue, on the edge of the other's betrayal, that respect meant keeping our distance in silence, averting our eyes from each other's face in the street, from the beautiful dark mouth and cautious familiar eyes passing alone. I remember you, Harriet. Before we were broken apart, we dreamed the crossed swords of warrior queens while we avoided each other's eyes, and we learned to know lonely as the earth learns to know dead. Harriet, what name shall we call ourselves now our mother is gone? Chain. News item. 2 girls, 15 and 16, were sent to foster homes because they had borne children by their natural father. Later, they petitioned the New York courts to be returned to their parents, who, the girls said, loved them, and the courts did so. Faces surround me that have no smell or color, no time. Only strange laughing testaments, vomiting promise like love. But look at the skeleton children, advancing against us. Beneath their faces there is no sunlight, no darkness, no heart remains, no legends to bring them back as women into their bodies at dawn. Look at the skeleton children advancing against us. We will find womanhood in their eyes as they cry, "Which of you bore me, will love me, will claim my blindness as yours, and which of you marches to battle from between my legs?" On the porch outside my door, girls are lying like felled maples in the path of my feet. I cannot step past them, nor over them. Their slim bodies roll like smooth tree trunks, repeating themselves over and over until my porch is covered with the bodies of young girls. Some have a child in their arms. To what death should I look for comfort? Which mirror to break or mourn? 2 girls repeat themselves in my doorway. Their eyes are not stone. Their flesh is not wood nor steel, but I can touch them. Shall I warn them of night, or offer them bread, or a song? They are sisters. Their father has known them over and over. The twins they carry are his. Whose death shall we mourn in the forest unburied? Winter has come, and the children are dying. One begs me to hold her between my breasts. Oh, write me a poem, mother. Here, over my flesh, get your words upon me, as he got this child upon me. Our father lover, thief in the night, do not be so angry with us. We told him your bed was wider, but he said if we did it, then we would be his good children. If we did it, then he would love us. Oh, make us a poem, mother, that will tell us his name in your language. Is he father or lover? We will leave your word for our children, engraved on a whip or a golden scissors to tell them the lies of their birth. Another says, "Mother, I am holding your place. Do you know me better than I knew him or myself? Am I his daughter or girlfriend? Am I your child or your rival? You wish to be gone from his bed? Here is your granddaughter, mother. Give us your blessing before I sleep. What other secrets do you have to tell me? How do I learn to love her as you have loved me?" Sequelae. Because a burning sword notches both of my doorposts, because I am standing between. my burned hands in the ash print of two different houses. Midnight finds weave a filigree of disorder. I figure in the dreams of people who do not even know me. The night is a blister of stars, pierced by nightmares of a telephone ringing. My hand is the receiver, threatening as an uncaged motor, seductive as the pain of voiceless mornings, voiceless kitchens I remember, cornflakes shrieking like banshees in my throat, while I battle the shapes of you, wearing old ghosts of me, hating you for being black and not woman, hating you for being white and not me. In this carnival of memories, I name you both the laying down of power, the separation I cannot yet make. After all these years of blood, my eyes are glued like fury to the keyholes of yesterday. Rooms where I wander, solitary as a hunting cheetah, at play with legends called disaster. Do all women who refuse to wait in vain. In a new room, I enter old places bearing your shape, trapped behind the sharp smell of your anger in my voice, behind tempting invitations to believe, your face, tipped like a pudding under glass, and I hear the high pitch of your voice crawling out from my heart's deepest culverts. Compromise is a coffin nail, rusty as seaweed, tiding through an August house where nobody lives, beyond choice. My pathways are strewn with old discontents, outgrown defenses still sturdy as fire brick, unlovely and dangerous as measles. They wither into uselessness, but do not decay. Because I do not wish to remember, but love to caress the deepest bone of me, begging sheaths that wax and wane like moonfire, to absolve me at any price. I battle old ghosts of you, wearing the shapes of me, surrounded by black and white faces saying no, over and over, becoming my mother draped in my father's bastard ambition, growing dark secrets out from between her thighs, and night comes into me like a fever. My hands grip a flaming sword that screams, while an arrogant woman masquerading as a fish plunges it deeper and deeper into the heart we both share, like beggars. On this moment of time where the spaceships land, I have died too many deaths that were not mine. For Assata, New Brunswick Prison, 1977. In this new picture, your smile has been to war. You are almost obscured by other faces on the pages. Those shadows are sisters who have not yet spoken. Your face is in shadow, obscured by the half-dark, by the thick bars running across your eyes like sentinels. All the baby fat has been burned away like a luxury your body let go reluctantly. The corners of your mouth turned down. I cannot look into your eyes. Who are all those others behind you? The shadows are growing lighter and more confusing. I dream of your freedom as my victory, and the victory of all dark women who forego the vanities of silence, who war and weep, sometimes against ourselves and each other, rather than our enemies. Falsehoods, Assata, my sister warrior, Joan of Arc and Ya Asantewa, embrace at the back of your cell. At first, I thought you were talking about, do you think, I guess, in as much as, so, to be sure, yes, I see. What'd you mean? But listen yet, and still on the other hand, like as if you know, oh, at first I thought you were talking about a bird, a flower, your anguish, the precision of trial by fury, apes in the roses, a body-sized box, even my own mother's sadness, freezing into diamonds, sanctified beyond description, and brilliant as death. There are 237 footfalls from the parking lot to this metal table, this mechanical desk of judgment. The early spring sun shines on the face of building, but it is cut off at the door. Now take my body and blood as the last recorded sacrifice of a negative image upon the revolving door pane of this building, where even the elevators are tired. To be sure, yes, I know what did. You mean, by the way, but listen yet, and still, on the other hand, like you know just as if. Do you think I guess inasmuch as so? Oh, well, I see. At first I thought you were talking about a litany for survival. For those of us who live at the shoreline, standing upon the constant edges of decision, crucial and alone, for those of us who cannot indulge the passing dreams of choice, who love in doorways coming and going, in the hours between dawns, looking inward and outward, at once before and after, seeking a now that can breed futures like bread in our children's mouths, so their dreams will not reflect the death of ours. For those of us who were imprinted with fear, like a faint line in the center of our foreheads, learning to be afraid with our mother's milk, for by this weapon, this illusion of some safety to be found, the heavy-footed hope to silence us, for all of us, this instant and this triumph we were never meant to survive. And when the sun rises, we are afraid it might not remain. When the sun sets, we are afraid it might not rise in the morning. When our stomachs are full, we are afraid of indigestion. When our stomachs are empty, we are afraid we may never eat again. When we are loved, we are afraid love will vanish. When we are alone, we are afraid love will never return. And when we speak, we are afraid our words will not be heard nor welcomed. But when we are silent, we are still afraid. So it is better to speak remembering we were never meant to survive. Meet. Women, when we met on the solstice, high over halfway between your world and mine, rimmed with full moon and no more excuses, your red hair burned my fingers as I spread you, tasting your rough down to sweetness. And I forgot to tell you, I have heard you calling across this land in my blood before meeting. And I greet you again on the beaches and mines lying on platforms, in trees full of telltale birds flicking, and deep in your caverns of decomposed granite, even over my own laterite hills, after a long journey licking your sons while you wrinkle your nose at the stench, coming to rest in the open mirrors of your demanded body. I will be black light as you lie against me. I will be heavy as August over your hair. Our rivers flow from the same sea, and I promise to leave you again, full of amazement in our illuminations, dealt through the short tongues of color, or the taste of each other's skin as it hung from our childhood mouths. When we meet again, will you put your hands upon me? Will I ride you over our lands, sleep beneath trees in the rain? You shall get young as I lick your stomach hot and at rest before we move off again. You will be white fury in my navel. I will be sweeping night. Maulisa foretells our bodies as our hands touch and learn from each other's hurt. Taste my milk in the ditches of Chile and Ouagadougou, in Tema's bright port, while the priestess of Larte protects us, in the high meat stalls of Palmyra and Abomi Calavi. Now you are my child and my mother. We have always been sisters in pain. Come in the curve of the lion's bulging stomach, lie for a season out of the judging rain. We have mated, we have cubbed, we have high time for work in another meeting. Women exchanging blood in the innermost rooms of moment. We must taste each other's fruit at least once before we both be slain. Seasoning. What am I ready to lose in this advancing summer? As the days that seemed long grow shorter and shorter, I want to chew up time until every moment expands in an emotional mathematic that includes the smell and texture of every similar instant since I was born. But the solstice is passing. My mouth stumbles, crammed with crib sheets and flowers, dime store photographs of loving in stages, choked by flinty nuggets of old friends, undigested enemies, preserved sweet and foul in their lack of exposure to sunlight. Thunder eggs of myself ossify in the buttonholes of old recalled lovers, who all look like rainbows, stretching across other summers to the pot of gold behind my own eyes. As the light wanes, I see what I thought I was anxious to surrender. I am only willing to lend, and reluctance covers my face as I glue up my lips with the promise of coming winter. Touring. Coming in and out of cities where I spend 1 or 2 days selling myself, where I spend 1 or 2 nights in beds that do not have the time to fit me, coming in and out of cities too quickly to be touched by their magic. I burn from the beds that do not fit me. I leave sated but without feeing. Any texture of the house I have invaded by invitation, I leave with a disturbing sense of the hard core of flesh missed and truly revealing. I leave poems behind me, dropping them like dark seeds that I will never harvest, that I will never mourn. If they are destroyed, they pay for a gift I have not accepted. Coming in and out of cities, untouched by their magic, I think without feeling. This is what men do, who try for some connection and fail and leave $5 on the table. Walking our boundaries. This first bright day has broken the back of winter. We rise from war to walk across the earth around our house, both stunned that sun can shine so brightly after all our pain. Cautiously, we inspect our joint holding. A part of last year's garden still stands bracken. One tough missed okra pod clings to the vine, a parody of fruit cold hard and swollen underfoot. One rotting shingle is becoming loam. I take your hand beside the compost heap, glad to be alive and still with you. We talk of ordinary articles with relief, while we peer upward, each half afraid. There will be no tight buds started on our ancient apple tree, so badly damaged by last winter's storm, knowing it does not pay to cherish symbols when the substance lies so close at hand, waiting to be held. Your hand falls off the apple bark like casual fire along my back. My shoulders are dead leaves waiting to be burned to life. The sun is watery warm. Our voices seem too loud for this small yard, too tentative for women so in love that siding has come loose in spots. Our footsteps hold this place together as our place. Our joint decisions make the possible whole. I do not know when we shall laugh again, but next week we will spade up another plot for this spring's seeding. Eulogy for Alvin Frost. 1. Black men bleeding to death inside themselves, inside their fine, strong bodies, inside their stomachs, inside their heads, a hole as large as a dum-dum bullet, eaten away from the inside. Death at 37. Windows are holes to let in the light. In Newark Airport at dawn, I read of your death by illumination. The carpets are dark and the windows are smoky to keep out the coming sun. I plummet down through a hole in the carpet, seeking immediate ground for my feet to embrace. My toes have no wisdom, no strength to resist. They curl in a spasm of grief, of fury uprooted. It is dawn in the airport and nothing is open. I cannot even plant you a tree. The earth is still frozen. I write a card saying machines grew the flowers I send to throw into your grave. On occasion we passed in the hallway, usually silent and hurried, but fighting on the same side. You congratulate me on my latest book in a Black Caucus meeting. You are distinguished by your genuine laughter, and you might have been my long-lost second-grade seatmate named Alvin, grown into some other magic, but we never had time enough just to talk. 2. From an airplane heading south, the earth grows slowly greener. We pass the first swimming pool filled with blue water. This winter is almost over. I don't want to write a natural poem. I want to write about the unnatural death of a young man at 37, eating himself for courage in secret until he vanished, bleeding to death inside. He will be eulogized in echoes by a ghost of those winters that haunt morning people, wearing away our days like smiling water in southern pools, leaving psychic graffiti, clogging the walls of our hearts, carving out ulcers inside our stomachs from which we explode or bleed to death. 3. The day after your burial, John Wade slid off his chair onto the carpet in the student cafeteria and died there on the floor between abnormal psychology and a half-finished cup of black coffee. Cafeteria guards rushed him out the back door between classes, and we never knew until a week later that he had even been ill. I am tired of writing memorials to black men, whom I was on the brink of knowing, weary like fig trees, weighted like a crepe myrtle, with all the black substance poured into earth before earth is ready to bear. I am tired of holy deaths, of the ulcerous illuminations, the cerebral accidents, the psychology of the oppressed, where mental health is the ability to repress knowledge of the world's cruelty. 4. Dear Danny, who does not know me, I am writing to you for your father, whom I barely knew, except at meetings where he was distinguished by his genuine laughter and his kind, bright words. Danny, son of Alvin, please cry. Whenever it hurts, remember to laugh. Even when you do battle, stay away from coffee and fried plastic, even when it looks like chicken, and grow up, black and strong and beautiful, but not too soon. We need you, and there are so few left. Chorus. Sun, make me whole again, to love the shattered truths of me, spilling out like dragon's teeth through the hot lies of those who say they love me. When I am done, each shard will spring up, complete and armed, like a warrior woman, hot to be dealt with, slipping through alleyways of musical night people, humming, Mozart was a white dude. Coping. It has rained for 5 days. Running. The world is a round puddle of sunless water where small islands are only beginning to cope. A young boy in my garden is bailing out water from his flower patch. When I ask him why, he tells me young seeds that have not seen sun forget and drown easily. To Martha, a new year. As you search over this year, With eyes your heart has sharpened, remember longing. I do not know your space now. I only seek a woman whom I love trapped there by accident. But places do not change so much as what we seek in them, and faith will serve along the way to somewhere else where work begins. In Margaret's garden. When I first saw you blooming, the color was now. Protest sprang from your rapid hands like a second set of fingers. You were learning to use the betrayal of others in place of your own pain, and your mouth was smiling off center in the total confusion. I never saw nor visited by day the place where your swans were conquered. When I met you again, your mouth had centered into aloneness. You said you had come apart, but your earth had been nourished into a new garden of strong smells. I felt you wanting to mourn the innocence of beginnings, that old desire for blandness. I feel your sadness deep in the center of me, and I make a pact with you, sister. If you will not sorrow, I will not tell. Scar. This is a simple poem for the mothers, sisters, daughters, girls I have never been, for the women who clean the Staten Island ferry, for the sleek witches who burn me at midnight in effigy because I eat at their tables and sleep with their ghosts. Those stones in my heart are you of my own flesh, whittling me with your sharp false eyes, laughing me out of your skin, because you do not value your own life, nor me. This is a simple poem. I will have no mother, no sister, no daughter when I am through, and only the bones are left. See how the bones are showing the shape of us at war, clawing our own flesh out, to feed the backside of our mask-like faces that we have given the names of men. Donald DeFreeze, I never knew you so well as in the eyes of my own mirror. Did you hope for blessing or pardon, lying in bed after bed, or was your eye sharp and merciless enough to endure beyond the depths of wanting? With your voice in my ears, with your voice in your ears, try to deny me. I will hunt you down through the night veins of my own addiction, through all my unsatisfied childhoods, as this poem unfolds like the leaves of a poppy. I have no sister, no mother, no children left, only a tideless ocean of moonlit women in all shades of loving, learning the dance of open and closing, learning a dance of electrical tenderness no father, no mother would teach them. Come Sambo, dance with me. Pay the piper dangling, dancing his knee-high darling over your wanting under your bloody white faces. Come bimbo, come ding-dong. Watch the city falling down, down. Down, lie down, bitch, slow down, nigger. So you want a cozy womb to hide you, to pucker up and suck you back safely. Well, I tell you what I'm gonna do next time you head for the hatchet. Really need some nook to hole up in. Look me up. I'm the ticket taker on the queen of roller coasters. I can get you off cheap. This is a simple poem, sharing my head with dreams of a big black woman with jewels in her eyes. She dances, her head in a golden helmet, arrogant, bloomed, her name in Colossa. Her thighs are like stanchions or flayed hickory trees, embraced in armor. She dances, slow earth-shaking motions that suddenly alter and lighten as she whirls, laughing. The tooled metal over her hips comes to an end, and at the shiny edge of astonishment of soft, black, curly hair. Portrait. Strong women know the taste of their own hatred. I must always be building nests in a windy place. I want the safety of oblique numbers that do not include me. A beautiful woman with ugly moments, secret and patient, as the amused and ponderous elephants, catering to Hannibal's ambition as they swayed on their own way home. A song for many movements. Nobody wants to die on the way, caught between ghosts of whiteness and the real water. None of us wanted to leave our bones on the way to salvation 3 planets to the left, a century of light years ago. Our spices are separate and particular, but our skins sing in complementary keys. At 7:45 meantime, we were telling the same stories over and over and over. Broken down gods survive in the crevices and mud pots of every beleaguered city, where it is obvious there are too many bodies to cart to the ovens or gallows, and our uses have become more important than our silence. After the fall, too many empty cases of blood to bury or burn, there will be nobody left to listen, and our labor has become more important than our silence. Our labor has become more important than our silence. Brother Alvin. In the seat that we shared in the 2nd grade, there was always a space between us left for our guardian angels. We had made it out of the brownies together because you knew your numbers and could find the right pages, while I could read all the words. You were absent a lot between Halloween and Thanksgiving, and just before Christmas vacation, you disappeared, along with the tinsel and paper turkeys, and never returned. My guardian angel and I had the seat to ourselves for a little while only, until I was demoted back to the brownies because I could never find the correct page. You were not my first death, but your going was not solaced by the usual rituals of separation, the dark, laborious murmurs and invitations by threat to the dignified grown-up's view of a child's inelegant pain. So even now, all these years of death later, I search through the index of each new book on magic, hoping to find some new spelling of your name. School note. My children play with skulls, for their classrooms are guarded by warlocks who scream at the walls, collapsing into paper toilets. Plump witches mouth ancient curses in an untaught tongue, test children upon their meaning, assign grades, in a holocaust ranging from fury down through contempt. My children play with skulls at school. They have already learned to dream of dying. Their playgrounds were graveyards, where nightmares of no stand watch over rented earth, filled with the bones of tomorrow. My children play with skulls, and remember for the embattled, there is no place that cannot be home, nor is. Digging. In the rusty pages of Gray's Anatomy, in Witchcraft and Chewing Gum on Sundays, I have sought you in the rings around oak trees, on each of the 12 moons of Jupiter, on Harlem streets, peeping up at the secrets pregnant women carry, like a swollen threat, beneath the flowers of their gathered blouses, and under the breasts of a summer night, smelling of the kerosene and red pepper my mother used to frighten out bedbugs. Or was it only dream beads of sweat I suffered before I could slip through nightmare into the patient world of sleep, vanishing like a swallowed flower, and for years afterward I would wake in August to the leftover scent of a child's tears on my pillow. In the stone machine that smells of malachite and jasper, of corporalities undercutting and crazed in the stone machine, twirled green dust burns my nose like Whitsuntide fire. I send you a gift of malachite, of amber for melancholy, of turquoise for your heart's ease. In the stone museum, ancient tapestries underline scents with an animal touching the organ's place.